Hey guys, it's Marshall from Going Gear, and today we're going to take a look at the newest Olight flashlights. We have the M21-X M20S-X. Doesn't have the S on there, but this is the version with the side switch, and I think the official name is the M20SX. So, two different lights. The biggest difference is the side switch. So the M21 is not going to have the side switch. M20SX is going to have the side switch. So you have dual switches on this one, and we'll show you that interface in just a minute. These have been some of the most popular lights that Olight has ever made. So it's pretty cool that they took them, they upgraded them, they put the CREE XM-L LED in here for even more lumens and better illumination. So as you can see, Olight likes to include a lot of stuff with especially their higher end lights. You get a lot of stuff in the packaging. Of course, the light itself, let's pull that out. We're going to use that later. We got a diffuser. The diffuser just slides onto the front of the light like that, and we'll show you that better when we go outside. This right here, this is a battery tube for when you want to use CR123s. You can slide those in there and it keeps them from rattling around inside the battery tube. And the reason that they do that is because the battery tube is wide enough to fit 18650s. They're rechargeable lithium-ion batteries, so it keeps the slimmer CR123s from rattling around in there. But we're going to use 18650s, so we'll leave those in there. Here's the really nice holster. They always do a really good job on the holster. Nice sturdy lanyard, and then your standard spare part kind of stuff. You have the glow-in-the-dark boot cover if you want to use that. This ring right here, people ask what this is for a lot of times, so I'll explain it real quick. This ring right here is if you want to remove the anti-roll ring or the tactical grip ring, whatever you want to call that. You can unscrew the tail cap, take the O-rings off right there, unscrew that, put this on there, just so you have more of a smooth body if you prefer that. A lot of people like to keep it in their pockets, and it's a little more comfortable when you do that. So those are the accessories. The holster I'll show you real quick. It's made to put the light in there head down, and then when you put the flap over it, you can see the tail cap sticks up over the top, and you can still use the light because you have that hole in the bottom. Press the switch still. You can still use it when it's in the holster. Of course, it's not going to be as effective because you're not going to get your entire beam, but it will provide some illumination. Pockets here on the side. You can stick accessories in there, whatever you want. They're sized for batteries, so you can slide some 123s, 18650, whatever you want in there. Pretty cool holster. They do a really good job on the holster. A lot of times the holsters are throwaways, not on this light. On the back, I'll show you this real quick. You've got the Velcro attachment point, so you can attach it to your pack, your belt, wherever you want. And then you've got another attachment point right here where you could use a carabiner or whatever else you want to use and attach it in a whole lot of different ways. Alright, so that's the packaging, that's the accessories. Close that back up and show you real quick with the M21X. Got all the same stuff. So rewind if you want to see what you get with the M21. So we'll put the packaging to the side. We've got the two lights. Show them to you up close just so you can get a better idea of the differences. One thing that you'll notice right away is that the head on the M21 is going to be larger than the M20X. Actually, I guess the official name is the M20X. They got rid of the S. Alright, so if you look down in there, they're using the same LED. They're using that CREE XM-L LED. So same size LED, larger reflector on the M21X. You're going to get better throw on the M21. So the M20X is going to give you more of a wide area illumination, or the M21 is going to still give you that, but it's going to give you better throw just because it has that wider reflector. But other than that, you can tell they're pretty similar. They both have that nice sturdy clip. There's your anti-roll ring, so when you have it on a flat surface, it doesn't roll around on you too much. And then, like I said, you can use it as a combat grip ring. Nice anodizing, nice machining on these, as always with Olight. Like I said, both of the lights are powered either by two 123s or an 18650. Two 123s come with the light. I definitely recommend getting the 18650s. The big reason is cost. I mean, if you're feeding it 123s over and over, unless you get them for free, if you're a police officer or something like that, they get kind of expensive. I mean, we sell these for $9 a piece. The charger's $12. Pretty cheap solution. You don't have to keep on feeding it 123s. I mean, you feed it 123s, even the cheapest cells that you can buy, you do that a few times and you pay for the battery. So if you're like me, you probably go through quite a few batteries. So we'll go ahead and stick tail cap back on there. And then we will do the same for the M20. Like I said, the M20 and the M21 are both really popular lights, especially the M20S with that side switch. It's a fantastic interface. I really like that interface. Being able to access all the modes quickly and easily without having to turn the head or anything. It's really, really nice. So we'll show you the interface on the M21X first. So like I said, larger reflector on this one, a little bit better throw. Switch on the back, lightly press it, you get your momentary, click it all the way for constant on. And to switch between the modes is the same interface that it used to be on the M21s or the M20 Warriors. You just loosen and tighten the head. And each time you do that, no matter the speed you do it at, it's going to switch between the modes. So you have 3 different outputs and strobe. And it does have a memory, so unless you're messing with the head, you're always going to have that same output. Nice reliable operation. Alright, so that's the M21. M20S-X, you got both switches back on the back. Man, I keep on calling it the M20S-X. No S in there, it's just the M20X. I'll get used to it eventually. Alright, so the interface on this one, same kind of switch on the back. You still have that momentary, so lightly press it, you have momentary. Click it all the way for constant on, and hit that side switch, and it'll switch between the modes. You see it'll switch between the 3 different outputs. Now another feature that you have in there is if you hold it down when it's turned on, you notice that it goes into strobe. And then if you hold it down, let go, it'll stay in strobe, so you can have that constant strobe. Really cool feature is when it's off, you hit that side button, you will always have strobe, no matter what you go into or what mode you left it off in. But if you're using that rear switch, it's going to go back into the last illumination, just the regular illumination, regular output that you had it in. So pretty different in terms of the interface, and when we go outside you'll see a little bit different in terms of the beam and throw and everything, but they still are relatively similar lights. Both very nice lights, just different applications. You can get pressure switches, weapon mounts, all that kind of stuff for both of them if you need those. And then like I said, they come with the diffusers. We have the colored filters and all that kind of stuff for them as well. So let's go ahead and take both of these lights outside and we'll show you how they do outside. We're outside with the 2 XML lights, and I brought along the M20S, the existing M20S, and the M30 as well, and of course the 40 mag light that I always use. So let's try out the 40 mag light first. There's a little bush, 15 feet, tree out there at 100 feet. Okay, we're going to try out the existing lights first. So first off, we're going to try the M20S. So this is the one with the XPG LED. There you go. You can see the difference definitely between it and the mag light. Concentrated light on this one, so it doesn't really light up a huge area at once compared to the XMLs, but it still does pretty well as far as the amount of area it lights up. We'll go through the different outputs real quick. Alright, let's try out the M30, one of my favorites. This is actually my personal light. It's been one of the ones I've been carrying for a long time. So there you go. You can see difference between the 15 feet, 100 feet out there. We'll zoom in on that. See how well it lights up at 100 feet. Obviously no problem for it. And then the different outputs real quick. Alright. If I can figure out which lights I have in my hand, I'll tell you which one we're doing next. Okay, here is the M20X. Obviously on low. Let's crank it up. There's medium. There it is on high. You see the difference between it and the M20S. This illustrates it really well. Let's actually put them side by side real quick. You can see how much more concentrated the M20S with that XPG is compared to the one with the XML. So if you're going for distance, definitely the XML one is going to be more of a flood, wider area, close range, not necessarily close, but medium range kind of stuff. If you wanted to go a little bit further, you can see the XPG one is going to be a little bit more concentrated, give you a little bit better throw. So let's go through the different outputs again on that one. Alright, we'll try the M21X last. There you go, there's the M21X. You can see it's a little bit more concentrated than the M20X. Go through the different outputs. Actually, that was on medium, so there it is on high. You can see even better than what you got out of the M20X. Let's go through the different outputs real quick. On low, you can see up close kind of stuff, still does pretty well. In medium, obviously 100 feet, absolutely no problem. High, it's going to go out really, really well. Okay, here's the M20X and the M21X side by side. Got the M21 on the left, M20 on the right. So you're not going to notice a huge kind of difference at this kind of distance, but here in a second when we try a longer distance of about 100 yards, you'll see more of a difference. So let's go ahead and try that. Okay, we have more distance to work with my pile of Olights. Got the 40 mag light. House 50 yards away, doesn't really do all that great. It does okay, you can mostly see what's going on out there. Tree in the front yard at 100 yards, top of it's over 100 yards. Can't really see what's going on out there. Alright, let's try out the Olights. First off, we'll try off the M20S with the XPG. You can see pretty concentrated light on that. 100 yards, no problem. No question about what's going on out there. Relatively concentrated light. Let's try out the M30 next. There's the M30. You can see wider hotspot on this. I really like this one because I really don't have 100 plus yards to work with, except when I'm searching for it and trying to make these videos. But closer distances, like my house 50 yards away, it does extremely well, and it lights up a really wide area. So that's why I like that one so much. But some very worthy replacements to it, just because of their size and the type of LEDs, are the M20X and the M21X. Here is the M20X. You can see that nice wide hotspot. It looks like it actually edges out the M30 a little bit. We'll do them side by side real quick. Actually, I guess they're pretty close. But good output on both of them. The M21 and the M20X are definitely smaller than the, we'll turn them off real quick, show them in front of the camera. There's your M30 on the bottom, M20X on the top. You can see how much smaller the M20X is, and you get about the same performance. So that's pretty impressive. Do them side by side again. But here is just the M20X. We'll zoom in on the top of that tree again. Absolutely no problem, over 100 yards away. Lights it up really well. Lights up a nice wide area. Spill on it's pretty solid. Alright, here is going to be the M21X. There it is. You can see a little bit more focused, so you get better throw on this one. Larger reflector, same LED. It's going to give you a little bit more focused beam. Shine it around a little bit. And we'll do them side by side. So we'll have the M21X on the left, M20X on the right. Again, not a huge difference, but that M21X is more concentrated. You can see, sort of, in the video. So we're going to leave the M21X on. Here's going to be the M30, so you can see them side by side. M21X looks like it does edge out the M30 a little bit. And then we'll try the M21X and the M20S with that XPG. So you can see how concentrated the XPG is compared to the M21. Definitely a big difference in the hot spots. So there you go. Focus of the video was the M20X and the M21X with that CREE XM-L LED. New lights from Olight, really cool lights, nice and compact. You can see they have really solid throw, and they light up a really wide area at once. So they have a lot of benefits of a lot of other lights crammed into a nice compact little package. If you like them, you can get them from us at goinggear.com. You can still get the M20S, XPG, and the M30 from us as well. And if you like the video, be sure to subscribe. We put out a lot of flashlight videos, and if you have any questions or comments, you can reach us in the comments or at goinggear.com.